Okay, we're going to start talking a little bit of mental math using this in multiplication. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to need to do some vocabulary. So take a second, get out your dictionary, and you're going to write these definitions into your dictionary. So while you're doing that, factors, numbers that are multiplied to get a product. So in a problem you have your two numbers. Those are factors. So whenever we talk about the different numbers that are in the problem, those are factors. A multiple, a product of any given number and another whole number. So a multiple of 2 is 4. A multiple of 4 is 8. So things that can get chopped up into smaller groups. A product is the answer. So whatever you're going to have come out of the multiplication problem, that's your product. Okay, just like a product is the final thing that comes out of a factory. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about how to multiply by 10. That's kind of slick and easy. It's kind of tricky, which is fun. So if you take and you multiply the first number of each factor and then add zeros to it, you get the answer. So for instance, I have 500 times 30. Now if I look at that and go, oh my gosh, how am I going to solve that? Well, all that I have to do is break it into a couple different parts. First off, I'm going to do 5 times 3. Now 5 times 3, I know that, that's 15. Well, what they're saying is, if I want to do 500 times 30, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be able to just add the zeros at the end of it. So whenever you're multiplying things by 100 or tens or thousands, anything with zeros that go on in the end, you're able to just simply write the number, and then I count 1, 2, 3, there's 3 zeros. So then there's 3 zeros in the answer. I'll go over here and look at this one. So 2,000 times 400. Oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? Well, I take 2 times 4, and that gets me 8. And then I count how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 zeros, so I write 8 and then follow that by 5 zeros. And that gives me that answer. So let's try some more. If I take 3 times 7, 3 times 7 is 21. So now if I take 30 times 7, that's going to be 210. Notice how there's only 1 0 that's there. Okay, if I take 300 times 7, that's 2,100. And I got 2 zeros here, and there's my 2 zeros there. Because 3 times 7 is 21, and then I put my 2 zeros on the end. So another way of looking at this is if I were to go and actually like do a long sort of multiplication problem. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 3 is 21. So there's my 21, there's my 0. Same thing over here. I can take my 7 times 0, 0, 7 times 0, 0, and 7 times 3 is 21. So you can see that this actually is a pretty slick way of doing this. Okay, 4 times 8. We know 4 times 8 is 32. So can you guess the next one? 320. Then the next one would be 3,200. And again, we can see that this works out because whenever we go to actually multiply it, we can see what it would come out to. All right, so I want you to figure out these really quick on your whiteboard. So go ahead and stop the video and try this out. Okay, so 12 times 3. Oh my gosh, Miss Miller, whatever am I going to do? Well, I know 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 1 is 3, so 36. 12 times 3 is 36. So then this is going to be 360, and this is going to be 3,600. I go over here to this one. 5 times 2. Oh, Miss Miller, that's easy. That's 10. Okay. Now, we have a 0 here, but there's a 0 over here too. So do I just leave it like that? No, you do your 5 times 2 like regular, and then you add the 0 in at the end. And this next one, 5 times 2 is 10, and then you add 2 zeros on the end of it to make it 1,000. All right, so now let's look at this in a math problem. So Aiden works at a pizza shop. He counted 60 $20 bills in the cash register at the end of the day. How much money is that? So he has 60 $20 bills. So he has 60 bills at $20 each. So I go, okay, 6 times 2 is 12. And then I would follow it by 2 zeros since there's 2 zeros in my problem. So that would be $1,200. Okay, let's do another one. Oh, actually, go ahead and start your assignment. On page 67, you're going to find problems 15 through 29 for you to do.